Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you may be watching us from. We welcome you to the Let's Talk Fabulous show with Tamara. My name is Tamara Hunter, and I am your host. This is the show where we explore our fabulous lives. Today, we are going to raise the vibration in celebrating you. We are going to celebrate to elevate with our expert panelists. They are subject matter experts and much, much more. So, without any further ado, let's talk. We want to recognize those with us right now. In fact, we've got our ambassador of the show. We've got Helene Wilson. Great to have you with us, my dear. We have our production coordinator saying good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all. We welcome you and we ask that you share this out. Let us know if you're live or hashtag replay. And, we want to hear from all of our live audience. Yes, live audience. We have you live in YouTube, in Facebook, and wherever else that we can get your comments. We'll share them up. And if you have any questions that you might want to ask our panelists, we'd love to know because this is going to be a fun show. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go around the room and we have this is an open house show today. And so we may have some people coming and going. That's okay. That's the way we roll. But for right now, what we're going to do is we're going to go around the room. I'm going to ask you to introduce yourself. Where are you? And just a couple sentences about what it is that you do. And then we're going to learn more because, yes, wink, wink, this show always has video, which is always so much fun. So I'm going to start to my left. Daniela, why don't you introduce yourself?
Thank you so much, Tamara. Thank you for inviting me on here. It's an honor to be here. So I am Daniela Ramon. I am out here in New Jersey. And I am the co-founder of Co-Author Network with my husband, Emilio Ramon. And we help people share their stories with the world. Aside from that, I also do a co-authorship for women, which helps them to share their story of domestic violence and overcoming that in order to inspire other women as well.
Thank you. Thank you. And then we're going to go to Gigi. Gigi.
Yes. So my name is Gigi Sabbat. And I'm a motivational keynote speaker and the CEO and founder of Life Service Center of America. And I'm out here in Palm Coast, Florida. It's a small town out here. And I love serving others.
Yes, you do. You do a good job with it, too. And Angel Marie, let's shine on. Introduce yourself.
Thank you, Tamara, for having me on. Oh, my gosh, so blessed to be here today with all you fabulous ladies. And what I do is I help people come from here when their energy and to experience their energy in a whole different understanding. And really, that's where I'm the energy expert. And I help people to really claim their life and to live their life with more energy and joy and abundance. So that's what I do. I'm here in Phoenix, Arizona. So that's why I'm in shorts. And it's hot here. And I just love the desert.
Well, that's good. Because not everybody does, but there's beauty everywhere. I have to say, I am really appreciating all the different elements of our world. And the desert does have a certain beauty at night, especially. I love it. I love it. Okay, so with that said, we're going to do some fun stuff today. I always say, let's have a pen and paper near because you're going to be getting some tips because right now the world needs to be elevating and celebrating our successes. And even when sometimes we don't feel like we're having a successful day, guess what? You really are because you woke up. That's a success in itself. Trust me, I know. So with that, let's start. I'm going to start with a video and then we're going to talk from there. So let's do this.
Greetings, I'm Angel Marie Monachelli. I'm so excited to be here to help you to elevate your vibrational field, your frequency, because we're always emitting, that's quantum physics, and understanding that you're always in a vibrational field to tap into how you want to elevate your vibration. Oh my gosh, one of the ways is drinking water. And drinking the water helps you to feel better and you have more clarity and focus. The other one is, I actually put 11 of them in here of how to elevate your vibration to boost your energy so that you can ignite your true gifts. And that's the key, is when you step into your true gifts, the things that you love to do all day, every day, those will be ignited when you tap into raising your vibrational field. So let's do another one. Clapping. It really is, because why? It claps and it moves all the energy around you. So maybe you have negative environment, people, places where you work, you never know. So clap it out. But then also the clapping actually helps you in your nervous system to move the nervous system. And then there always the great one that I love so much is the shine on shake. The shine on shake, the shine on shake, the shine, because it moves your nervous system. So there's quite a few of them. And then there's always the one about breathing and coming from the inside out. And thank you, Tamara Hunter, for having me, celebrating everyone like you do and how you serve others to really connect their vibrational field. So thank you so much. And thank you to you, the viewers that are here today, because those will really help you. Remember the clap. Remember to drink water. Remember also to always do the shine and move, 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 and then take your time. I'm Angel Marie, your energy expert.
Fabulous. Okay, so Angel Marie. First of all, I have to say, I'm liking the new digs. You've done a little bit of a change up in some of the colors and such, and that's always fun. People kind of do recognize that when they're so used to one thing and then they see another thing, and yet you're still the same Angel Marie, right?
Absolutely. I'm still Angel Marie. Yes.
So, okay, I'm glad we got that settled, especially when you did the shine on shake. Okay. Anybody that knows you knows the shine on song, the shine on shake, right? And so love it. In fact, let's get back to what everybody is saying here. She's lost her purple pen. So, we hope you find it soon. Love it. Okay, Israel, so glad that you're with us, everybody, today. And I want to kind of dive a little deeper into what you shared, because you shared so many really great tips. Water. You're huge on water. Now let's go into it. There's a physical reason that you're so big on water, right?
Absolutely. And that physical is about understanding that you need to be lubricated, and that we're 87%, depending on what book you read, water. And if we're not drinking that water, if you are thirsty, anybody thirsty? I see you, viewers. Are you thirsty? You're already dehydrated, and you're losing 1 to 3% of your brain function, scientifically proven. So when you're thirsty, you're beyond that, you're dehydrated. So it's really taking the water in. It will help you to have more clarity and focus. And what I teach is every 15 minutes, and I don't have the timer because I don't want to interrupt, but every 15 minutes, my timer goes off. And Daniela knows that because I come to her beautiful, her and Emilio's membership, and I come to that in the timer, and everybody grabs their water. They know it now. They're like, they feel better. So the huge one is the water.
So yeah, and you were just not there. You were there not long ago, and I had to pull this because look in the background, guys. Balloons. I was going to get balloons for my set here, but then I figured, okay, there were already balloons in this picture, so I was going to go with the balloons because we're doing the whole celebrate to elevate, So the water, and that makes sense. Okay, now let's go into the clapping, and we can all clap. I mean, seriously, I love that when you were doing that last night when I was working on this show. And I'm doing some of this editing and everything. I'm literally doing, okay, we're good. We're moving the energy. We're waking. And you know what? It worked. I was able to work literally until almost 4 o'clock this morning because I had to, because I was working on other stuff and I had to get this ready. And it's like, okay. And I was like, okay, aren't I tired? I know I need to go to bed. I know I need sleep. But that had worked.
It totally works, and it's because by you hitting, you're hitting all of the nervous system, and our cell is our biggest cell. So when we clap, we actually disturb, and it helps to align your nervous system, and it helps release negative energy or anything else energy. And everybody wants that right now, but it really does. And if you meet me personally, Tamara, you have, Daniela, you have. Not yet, Gigi, but I'm coming. When I hug you, I will step back and go, oh my gosh, it's so great to meet you. And everybody goes, oh, you're so cute. But they don't realize, what am I really doing? I'm disturbing all the energy you just put on me to put it back on, not back on you, but just disturb it. And then also to align my synapses and align my vibrational field with my own energy.
Oh, you gave that away. Guys, you don't know how many times I have been with Angel Marie. We have been on stages and we have been all over the United States together at events and such things. And I never knew that. I do know that you've done that all along. I never knew why. Oh, that's a great tip. That is a great tip, especially for those that are intuitive or they're very sensitive, because I know some of your other stuff. I won't go there right now, but I know some of your other tips and tricks from that kind of stuff. And so that's really great. Okay, now, and shake, we're going to get there in a minute, but not yet. But I love then you went to the whole breathing, bringing it in. Let's go there.
About the breathing and breathing it in. And it is scientifically proven that when we take a diaphragmatic breath, which is in through your nose, the diaphragm goes out the mouth, the diaphragm comes in. What happens with this is you come out of fight or flight. Ladies, you are in fight or flight when anything happens for 24 hours. Men, guys, you're in for 8 hours. So we keep lapping and we keep looping in that stress if you had something stressful. And it's so easy to go there. It's a loud noise. It's, oh, I'm late. You're already there. So the diaphragmatic breath, do I have time to let's everybody go through it?
Let's do that towards the end. I would love to do that. What I want to do right now is see if anybody here wants to jump in and add, add anything to what has been shared already. Daniela, you're like, okay, yeah.
Yes. So, hey, Angel, I know you've helped me a lot. So how do you really approach someone like myself? I want you to explain how you help me when it's hard to just clear your thoughts, right? Clear your mind. It's the hardest thing to do because we have so much going on. And when I try to meditate, sometimes I'm just, okay, close my eyes, breathe. But my head is like, I have to do this. And when I'm done, I'm going to go do this. And then how do you control that? Or how do you have someone control that?
Well, what I tell people is if you're having monkey mind, that's what I call it, because yes, it's monkey mind, is you must have a pattern interrupt. And that's the shine on shine. It has to be something that's verbal. Blah, 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 blah. I mean, really, it must be verbal and it must be movement. And then for you to take a moment, and a lot of people, I tell you, get a piece of paper and a pen and just do some breathing and write down what your thoughts are. To go ahead, and my favorite thing is, yes, it's Tamara's. It is absolutely mine. It just goes everywhere with me. And this is what I write because this is Tamara. We'll get to that, but it really is about doing that pattern interrupt, viewers, because if someone says, oh, relax, just breathe, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. But when you say, hey, come on, let's release this energy. Let's move this energy. Come on, everybody move. And then you get them going. And then even for me, I have to talk to myself. Angel, stop. Stop obsessing about that. Write it down. You're going to remember it. You just let it go. Let it go. Let it. And I have to speak it. And sometimes yell it and scream it. And even in my book, one of them in the Ignite book, the 11, is scream and yell. It really is. So I hope that's helpful because you have to get out of the environment. And that's what people don't. They'll stay in the environment and then want to get relaxed. You got to get out of the environment and clear and then go back in, and you got it. So I hope that's helpful.
Thank
I
you.
love Helene, monkey mind party time. That's a great theme right there.
Right?
I'm there. When you have it, Helene, let us know. We'll be there to have some fun. Scream and
Yeah.
yell. Oh, and then I will say, I used to do that when I had little kids, and my washer and dryer were in the garage, and I figured it got cleaned every once in a while, because if I needed to scream and yell, I needed to let some energy out. And what I would do is I'd take a semi-wet towel and I'd just like, and then be kind of like whacking on my washer and dryer. It was a dual purpose. They got cleaned every once in a while, but it felt great.
It's really the movement, whatever helps you with the movement. Yes.
I love it. I love it. Okay, we are going to go on, and I want to welcome everybody that's joining us right now. And yes, please let us know what you're thinking, as this is a fun show. Elevate. We're celebrating today, and we're elevating, and we're raising that vibe and that frequency, and we're giving some tips and tricks and favorite things that we like to do. And one was submitted by Gigi. It's short and sweet and to the point, but okay, guys, put your listening ears on, because it is sweet but if you absorb it, if you allow yourself, when you're telling your brain, absorb this, you're going to absorb it and be able to recall. Here you go.
This is motivational speaker Gigi Sabbat, and what elevates my vibe is God's purpose for my life. What elevates your vibe?
I love it. So tell us more, Gigi.
Absolutely. And so essentially, it's so important to keep God first in your life, and not just in your personal life, but all areas of your life. And also too, oftentimes folks say, well, what about my business? Yes, he wants to be a part of your business, your relationships, all areas. And so it's so important to remember to never give up as well. And I love how you pull that. Don't give up. God has a plan for your life. Hold on to faith. And I am big on that, on holding on to faith, because oftentimes folks say, well, this is it. This challenge happened to me and my life is over. No, your life is not over. It has just begun. And so here's the thing. Hold on to faith and keep the purpose as well. And when I talk about purpose, it's God's purpose for your life. And essentially, oftentimes folks say, well, I need to put it on the bookshelf. And I use those terms, and I'm very specific on the bookshelf. Why? Because I want you to envision yourself literally putting God's purpose for your life on the bookshelf. That's not okay, because it's his purpose for your life. And essentially, he has given it to you, the tools and the resources to serve others with. And so it's so important to utilize that. And so if you're listening to this message today, I encourage you, if you put that purpose on the bookshelf, just circle back to it and step into God's purpose for your life. I'll say it again. Step into God's purpose for your life. And I'll say it again. Step into God's purpose for your life. And so you see, ladies and gentlemen, almost a few years ago, I almost lost my life, death by strangulation in a domestic violence relationship. And after everything that happened, I stepped into God's purpose for my life. And I launched a podcast, launched the books, and I also launched a company, Life Service Center of America. And so if you're listening to this message today, it's so important to listen to him. And you see, when we get quiet, we can actually hear him. And it's not for us to just move on our own. No, listen to him and you'll hear him. And I know you all can agree with that. I see Tamara shaking her head. Yes. And so don't give up. Do not give up. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel. If you're listening to this message today and you've just been through a challenge, or you have been through a challenge, and you say, this is it for me. I'm giving up on life. I encourage you to, again, hold on to faith and don't give up. You may not see it right now, but God has a purpose for your life, and it's bigger than you can ever imagine.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. And Helene is sharing, if I walk in my life, I'm not going to give grace to God, for he gave it to me, and I am so blessed. So she's saying that she has been given that grace, and we've all been given that grace. It's up to us to accept it, right, Gigi?
Right. Yeah. Accept it. And also too, you are not your circumstances. I talk to individuals throughout the week and on a daily basis. And what I'm finding the most, it's a pattern. It's, well, this is it. this is my surrounding. This is it. It could be the weather. It could be something that may have happened, something someone said that has now affected someone in a negative manner. And it's weighing them down, or it's on their shoulders, or it may even be a parent or family member who said those words and they're weighing you down. But now I want you to really take a moment right now. I want to take a moment and really focus in on what I just said, right? Because it's the circumstance. You're not the circumstances. You're not the words someone has said that you are. And you're not what you're going through. That's not it. There's so much more in this life for you. And if you're in a place right now and you feel stuck, you can get unstuck. And thank you for sharing that healing and growth book that you pulled up there. And so essentially, when we talk about healing and growth, we have been there. We have all been there. And so we encourage you to take that spiritual journey with us. We've all been there. And so we're essentially letting you know that you can get unstuck. You do not have to be your circumstance or your challenge. And just because the weather is bad does not mean your mood needs to be bad. And just because somebody said something negative does not need to be who you are. Those words are not who you are. If somebody said something that when you were in a relationship, someone you were with has said something to you and it has affected you in a negative manner, you are not those words. Those are false beliefs. Keep moving forward and keep serving others.
I love it. I love it. And I love the participation we have from our live audience right now. And I'm giving the mic right now to Kellyanne in a sense. I'll read for her. And it says, Amen. God has a purpose for each of us. He gives you free will. But if you will listen to God and follow his purpose and plan for you, you will see a difference. Thank you for sharing that with us. So appreciate it. And, many of those that come to this show are buddies, and they may be one way or another. They've either faced that 6-letter word, or they may be facing it right now. And you invited me to be on a panel for the global breast cancer to celebrate in October, the celebration of life, in that we can beat these things. God is, God, whatever your belief system is, anywhere in the world, I want to honor you all. However, right now we're talking with Gigi, and she's very forthright in the fact that she is talking about the fact that God gives us so many blessings. And we talked about this on the global breast cancer panel that I just absolutely was honored to be a part of. And it was brought up how many of us have literally been healed, and that healing is possible. And why don't you talk a little bit about what it is that you believe in regards to that? Because on Service Hero Show, anybody that hasn't seen Gigi's story, go back to the Service Hero Show, look up her name, type it in on YouTube, Service Hero Show, her name. We went into this story. And it's to this day, I am inspired by this woman because of what she has done and how she has handled her life. And you've seen the miracles of living through something tough and then handing it over, letting for the miracles to come, and they do, right?
That's right. Absolutely. And so when we talk about healing, everyone's healing is truly unique. And thank you for sharing that, Tamara. And so when we talk about the sexual assault component that occurred in my life, I was sexually assaulted when I was 8, and then I was sexually assaulted again as an adult. And so you see, I'll never forget waking up the next day and I felt numb to pain. I said, well, why is this? What's going on? And I said, I never want anyone to feel this way. No one should have to live that way. And so all I can recall was what just happened, but at the same time, also recalling what happened when I was 8. And I said, oh no, this no one should ever have to go through. And so recently we just launched the Overcoming Heart Blocks book, inspiring stories from healing from trauma, with other amazing individuals, including my own mother. I didn't even know she had a heart block as well. And she came forward about her heart block, as well as Dr. Tanya Gold, who endorsed the book. And I didn't know she had a heart block as well. And we've been roommates as well. So you can imagine, I said, you have a heart block? And so she came forward, and so many other people came forward about their heart block that's rooted from trauma. And I said, oh my goodness, just bless their brave souls for coming forward, because I know it's not easy, especially when you've just been through a traumatic experience or have been through a traumatic experience. It's not easy to come forward about those stories. And so if you're listening to that message today, I just appreciate each and every one of you. And if you've been through a traumatic experience, I'm here to tell you that you can get through this. And I understand your healing, and I understand it takes time. Everyone's healing is unique. And we're here for you. We do have a few groups on Facebook, a few discussion groups, which I know, Tamara, you're part of, Angel and Daniela as well. We have a few. We have the sexual assault discussion group and domestic violence and several other groups as well for various topics. If you're not alone, if you feel alone, you're not alone. One of my favorite verses is Joshua 1:9. Haven't I commanded you, be strong and courageous? Do not be afraid or discouraged, for your Lord your God is with you wherever you go. And so you see, oftentimes folks believe they are alone. You're not alone. And that's just it. You're not. And you're supported by your community as well. And so don't give up.
Thank you for that. And I want to let everybody know, this is supposed to be a celebration show. And I allowed for this discussion to go down this road. Why? It's because life happens. And we can celebrate to elevate as we are working through what life has given us. I want people to understand life is not always going to be easy. However, it is so worth it. And that when you know that there's other people that have gotten through something, and you're hearing right now about Gigi and her story, and you now know she got through it. She's on the other side. Look at how powerful she is out there making a difference in lives. And that if you or someone you know that has been through those dark moments, now you know, number one, okay, she got through it. Maybe I can too. Take those baby steps. Go join those groups. And then start realizing that every day you wake up, celebrate that waking up. And then as you're experiencing whatever it may be, realize you're taking those baby steps to get to that next level of the celebrate to elevate. Because that is what is yours. That's your gift in life. The day you woke up, today you woke up, you have a gift waiting for you. It's a matter of you just saying, okay, I claim it. I'm having a really poopy day, but I claim my gift. Okay. One thing, the energy of smiling and elevating, it's hard to have the other side there too. So if you start embracing that, oh my goodness, miracles happen. So that's just a little side note that I wanted to share, and why I wanted people to understand why we went down this little path, because it might be for one of you that's watching right now, either in live or replay. This was your gift, and maybe you needed to hear this. So please do something with it and know that we love you, because the love that is out there is yours. It's yours. So let's continue. All right. So I want to go now to Daniela. I actually have a little clip that I found. We're going to explore it a bit, because you know what? I can, because we do this here. Okay, here we go.
I am Daniela Roman. I grew up in a traditional Italian family. At the young age of 8 years old, I stood by my grandmother and mom, watching them prepare family recipes. Learning to cook authentic Italian food was valued. My childhood experience revealed a passion and talent for cooking. Today, I am living my dream life with my dream husband and sharing my gift of cooking. No matter what the meal, I guarantee it not only to be memorable and delicious, it is an experience.
I had to share it. You know, I'm celebrating to elevate your talent in cooking, because my kids would be like, oh, my mom missed that skill. When the skills were being given out, they didn't give it to her.
Oh, wow.
So I had to just celebrate and elevate the fact that you love doing that. And we talked about it on the Service Hero Show when you came on. And but I know you're doing other things too, and that might be a little, but I had to go grab that, because it was like, I still remember the fact that, like, everything that it's like I could smell the food that you're cooking, and you know, because it's like, you know, I hear that sizzling, and it's like, oh, that's right, it's not smell-o-vision.
Right.
Okay, so you know, so number one, again, welcome for being here, and I know that your husband, and I actually have something, and I'll let you discuss that too about him because he's amazing. A lot of the things that you guys do, you do together as a pair, correct?
Right. Yes.
So let's explore that a little bit because you're really into being out there and celebrate. I mean, that yellow, oh my goodness. I just like it couldn't be more happier and fun and everything. And you're out there and you make things fun while you're doing what you do. So you work with books and you help people to tell their story, right?
Right. Right.
So let's talk a little bit about that and also whatever else you want to, because I opened the Pandora's box. If there's something in that celebrate to elevate kind of thing when it comes to food too, love to hear. My kids would probably love that you shared it too.
Thank you, Tamara. Yeah. So, well, to I guess start with what primarily what we do. You know, most people do know who Emilio is, and we help people share their stories through anthologies and their own books. You know, their own authority books. Angel is one of our platinum members. She did her book with us. And that, yep, has been in co-authorships and did her own book, launched back in January. So that's, you know, we just love loving on people and just showing the importance of getting your story out there in order to inspire others. That should be the main reason. It's not about making $1 million. It's not about, you know, all that. It's about, number one, your healing. Because by sharing your story, you begin the healing process. That's how it was for me. You know, I didn't, for 30 years, I didn't share my story. I kept secret, you know, of what happened to me between domestic violence and sexual trauma. And then once I released that, that's when the healing began. And, you know, I'm going to share with you the best compliment I ever got. Somebody asked this recently on Facebook, and it made me just right away think, you know, we get compliments all the time. Oh, Danielle, I love your hair. And I like, you know, and all, you know, the unimportant things, right? Best compliment I ever got after I first shared my story in a co-authorship several years ago was a woman reached out to me. More than one did, but this one stuck out to me. And she reached out to me privately and she said, you know, thank you for sharing your story. I read it and I shared it with my daughter, and she now decided to get out of her abusive relationship because of reading your story. It doesn't get better than that, you know? So that really touched me, and that made me really realize I knew I did the right thing by finally releasing that and sharing, you know, what I had been through, because to me, that was my main goal. Who can I help or serve with my story? And we say all the time, Emilio and I say, it's selfish if we don't share our story, because we are depriving others, you know, of being helped, because we've all been through something, right? And we never know who's listening. And I didn't know this woman was listening, was watching, was reading, you know, my story, you know, but she did. And it really, you know, helped so many women, you know, along with her. So that is, you know, what we do when we put on events and book launches. But also cooking, though, is my passion. I'm glad you brought that up, Tamara, because I have now really gone that route and have catering, and I'm going to be launching something really soon, which has to do with catering events. Look at Angel listening like, ooh.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really excited about that because my passion for cooking started a long time ago. And at the end there, boy, that made me feel old. I forgot I put that on there, like 40 years experience. I feel like I'm 80. I'm like, you know, when I see that, I'm like 40 years, like how old is she? But I started when I was like 7, you know, and it was not a chore for me. I grew up in a traditional Italian family. You know, my dad had me in the kitchen with my mom and my grandmother learning, but I always loved it, like at an early age. And oh God.
Got it.
I recently lost my dad. So, whew. But he is, you know, made the biggest impact in my life. He taught me so much, you know, what life experience is. And I'm actually honoring him with a book. And I'm going to be sharing his wisdoms, what I call them. And, you know, because he barely finished the 8th grade, but he was like the smartest man I ever knew. And always, you know, was there for me, no matter what I was going through in life. And the thing is, you know, I never he never knew what I was going through with my domestic violence situation and all of that. It wasn't until years later when I shared my story, And, all my mom said when she finally read that was, why didn't you tell us? We would have helped you. And my biggest fear was going to be like, oh my God, why are you putting stuff like that out? The Italian families, and a lot of families are like, what happens at home stays at home, right? So I was so afraid of their reaction. But, like any parent, you would think, they just cared and they felt bad because they're like, we would have helped you, so, but he was a big inspiration, and I learned from his mother, my grandmother, and I had a restaurant for 20 years, and I was living my passion with that and serving people. I just love creating food, just like, Angel's in a creative space in what she does, and Emilio is so creative in what he does. For me, food is art, right? So I am in that kitchen, I'm in a zone, and I'm creating things, and it's all about the presentation. Right? Just like when they say first impression is everything, right? When you first look at a meal, it has to look appetizing, or who wants it, right? You're not going to want to eat it. So that's very important to me. And so, yeah, that is what I'm moving towards now is catering events. And I'm going to be catering our own events this upcoming this year. So look out for that. So yeah, that is my passion. So I am really appreciative that you brought that up.
Well, absolutely. Because certain, I will say inspiring stories inspire me. And that's when we've been able to dive deeper into your guys' stories. Each one of you have been on the show, that your inspiring stories have not only inspired others, they inspired me, and they stay with me. And, thank you for sharing that. And I hope that you are feeling the love that I shared it with, because I know how much your father has meant, in your life, has inspired you in your life. And the tributes that you have given him have always also, they're so touching. And there's so many in this world that that's all they've ever wanted, is they've wanted a family, either their own or by adoption, or by, because friends can become family. And that's what we're all looking for, that community, that family. And the fact that you had this inspiring father that you loved and adored so very much, and the world has adored with you. And so, when Caroline mentioned here about, Big Bear, because we all know that's what, you would call your father, right? Yeah. So, thank you for sharing that with all of us, because again, celebrate to elevate. To elevate, and we can celebrate to elevate those that have been on this earth with us, those maybe that have gained their wings, and we still celebrate, and we elevate that energy and that love, because that energy and that love is a footprint that stays with us, for all time, that we remember them. And so thank you for sharing that. Okay, so we're gonna have some fun, guys. We are in it for some fun. All right, this is a little bit of a blast for the past. However, you kind of opened it up a bit, and I'm going to walk through that door that you opened up, Miss Little Angel Marie, with your other clip.
I'm a little scared.
Okay, and everybody, when you think of Angel Marie, and you think of that Shine On Shake, what else do you think of? The song. Okay, let's play the song. And I want, as we're playing the song, you're not going to be able to see us on camera, but I want us to be rocking out and at the top of our lungs and all of that. And all of you that know it, or just stand up, shake it out, and then enjoy. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Here's the Shine On song. Words are for you that I wrote just for you. You got ambition, fire and soul. Look within your heart, let your spirit flow. Ask for what you want, show what you got. Take it to the top, don't you ever stop. Shine, shine, shine on. Raise it, raise your vibration. Shine, shine, Shine on. Love and light to you, and remember to shine. Looking for the answers, seeking you will find. Open up your heart, leave it all behind. Smile and laugh, always give back. Glowing like a star. Cause you are a star. Show 'em who you are. Show 'em you are the superstar. Shine on. Raise your vibration. Shine. Shine. Shine on. You're the secret. You're the answer. You know who you are. Look within you. Breathe and focus. You're a shining star. You're the shining star. Shine. Shine. Shine on. Raise your vibration. Shine. Shine. Shine on. Don't you worry, don't you fake it. Be just who you are. Be it. You're the answer to the question. You're that shining star. You're the shining star. Shine, shine, shine on. Raise it. Raise your vibration. Shine, shine, shine on. Now that you can see all that you can be, breathe into your heart. Don't you ever stop. Shine, shine, shine on. Raise it. Raise your vibration. Keep up today. You got this today. You absolutely have set the tone with a daily dose of inspiration from Angel Marie.
Tamara, you dug deep for that. That's an old one. Oh my
The hair is so different.
But I love it because it has the words right there and that energy in you and just everything about who you are. You're shining on, my dear. And so, in the shine on dance. Yes. And thank you for sharing the smile. And, we got people dancing and yeah, raise your vibration, smile and laugh. You're a shining star. I mean, you can't help, right? You can't help but have that. And I love it. Well, I love that. Yeah, I do too. And as I found it, because that's just what I was doing, and because and then we had some other stuff that I found too for some others, and it's like there's a question in the chat for we will go to that, and I'll find it, and so however. With that, I love the whole movement and everything, and I know that you've kind of done the rebrand. I did make that known at the beginning, and that was a little bit of your other colors and such, but that song is timeless and it's so needed. And then now people can come back to that and watch it, and they can sing with it, because a lot of times I know that in the very beginning I used to be like, I had my own words because I thought I knew what you were saying, but it was like, I had that wrong. Okay, so real quick, that's your original song for those that don't know.
Yes, that is my signature song. I actually sing it. And it was written from the philosophy of understanding how to shine your light and step into your true gifts. So that's really where that came from. And I wrote it with the song artist. And that, yes, then you also showed me that it's time to redo that one with my new stuff. So thank you. But I will do a mic drop to that, though. Let's have a hello. Boom. The vibrational tone of any kind of music, but specifically this one was written in a way to help you raise your vibration. It absolutely does. So thank you.
Perfect. Okay, thank you. We do have a question from our audience for Daniela. So Daniela, Caroline would like to know why you started your journey of Behind Closed Doors. I think it's the book. What was the inspiration for that?
Well, the inspiration was really my husband. He inspired me to share my story of domestic violence And I, I did that, like I said, in my first co-authorship. And then why stop there, right? I'm like, let me get other women to have a voice. And Gigi can, I'm sure, relate to this. And they need a voice. It's a very delicate subject, and not every woman that has been through it wants to talk about it. But there are women, and everyone that I encountered that have been in my first two editions have said the same thing. And Caroline Brown is one of my co-authors in the second edition. She got the courage to share her story, and we're so proud of her for doing that. They all had been wanting to for years and just didn't know how, or were scared, and so they needed a platform like this to do that. So that's pretty much why, because they need a voice. They need to get their story out to inspire others, and also, like I said, to allow the healing to begin.
I love it. I love it. And Gigi, you've had so many panels on this subject, and had others come and join you, and because that's one of the things that you do with your format and your organization. And what would you like to add or piggyback on regards to that and getting the story out there? Because many, many, many need to be able to share their voice. And in the very beginning, and I know this because it took me a while to share my story, that it takes a little time. And it might be even that they've been out there. It might be someone that people know, and they don't know that they had that type of a story in their message, because maybe they held it back because it still has been sensitive. What experiences have you had in regards to helping people to get out there, since you do it verbally on digital platforms?
That's very true what Daniela said. I want to circle back to what she said there, because essentially, especially coming out with your story, number one, that's not easy, right? So I commend on that. And brave soul, you are a brave soul. And so are the other individuals who came forward as well. And for many people, they don't have a voice, like Daniela said, or they don't know how to share their story. They don't know if they can share their story. What I'm getting from a lot of individuals from what they're stating is the fear component, or they feel alone. They don't feel supported. And so what Daniela is doing is giving other folks a voice, which is so powerful. And yes, I know what you mean, because I have been there as well, as far as the folks that I work with, and it's women and men who have come forward about their stories as well. And what we found in society is that oftentimes people believe that domestic violence can only happen to women, and that's not the case. It also happens to men. Grady Taylor, he came forward, he shared on our panel, he was hit in the eye socket by a woman, and he lost part of his eyesight. So when we talk about domestic violence, it's a very serious matter, and it's not just physical; it's also verbal, and there's also financial. And so yes, we, as Tamara mentioned, we do continue to host those events throughout the year. We have one coming up this year as well at the end of the year, and it's so important that we don't just not just the women, but also the men. We allow them to share their voice as well, because they also feel alone. Many of the men that I've spoken with, they do feel alone, and they feel that they cannot share their story because of fear of what other folks will say, because they're gentlemen, and there's a stigma that because they're a man, they can't go through it. And then I've spoken with some woman who said, well, because a man hurt me, a man can't have a story. So there's so many things that go around that we really need to end that stigma, and we really need to continue to just educate and advocate in regards to domestic violence.
Yes, and again, this is an celebrate to elevate show, and I want to celebrate those that then let go of the hiding and then share it out into the light, because there's an element of at least release, and okay, I've let that out. Sometimes it's not really, really easy, yet there's still that I've let it out. And we want to celebrate and elevate each one that has let that message out there, in both in verbal, in written form, or whatever it may be, that those baby steps that you've started to take, because we celebrate you and elevate you in the road to recovery, because that's a lot of times what it is, right?
That's right. And we're all about meeting folks where they are. And so essentially, I understand everyone's healing journey, again, is unique, and that for some folks, they can't just jump into it and that's it. It's not one and done. And it's not just I wake up in the morning and I'm healed all of a sudden. No, it's going to take time. And again, too, especially when you just come out of a domestic violence matter. Now, I've done a lot of work, especially after coming through my out of my own experience. And what I've learned is that a lot of times those are those false beliefs that people hold on to, what someone said, and also to what was done. And when you continuously think about that and you say, this is it, this is what I deserve, then it's going to continue. And so if you continue to not learn the lesson, what's going to happen is you're going to end up in the same situation. So if you're finding yourself in the same type of relationship, oftentimes it's because the lesson wasn't learned in regards to what God was telling you, and is that you deserve so much more. If you're listening to this message today, you do not deserve to be abused. You deserve so much more. And continue to love yourself first and foremost, and continue to show up and serve others.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I am my story.
If I may just take 30 seconds is to celebrate with also what Gigi's doing, because Gigi has a lot of different panels. So she had me on a very different panel, and I told a story that I've never told. And I'm still going through that story because I've never told it. And she helped me to get through that. But yet I actually wrote it in Daniela's book, and Emilio's just a brief little thing, but it still bites me. So I'm still working through it. Yes, me. Yes. Still working through that story that might put you in shame, viewers, that might put you there. And it's okay to keep working every day with it. And I do. So thank you, Gigi. Thank you for the platform, Daniela and Emilio, and Tamara. Thank you for you. Absolutely. Great. So go ahead and be okay. Reach out to one of us. We'll help you get through that.
I love it. I love it. Okay. So I did say we were going to kind of like let's see here. I'm going to bring that back. Okay, so we got let's see here. Let me just do this. Add to the stream. All right. So this is Emilio. I love this. I had to just share this because I love this picture. I found it. I just love it. Okay, so I did get a little clip for him, and because he does these lives, and I just want to ode to Emilio because I want to. Here we go.
Another day. What are you grateful for? Write it down. Expect it, accept it, and get past it. Right? Fail forward fast. We've heard that before.
He did a really long, very good live not long ago, and I captured some of it. I captured the whole thing, but I just did this little clip because I figured when we would just talk about it. But I wanted to share it because his energy, and be watching for Emilio. He will be on the 2-hour event that is coming to celebrate, and I have a little something in regards to that. Here we go. So we're going to be celebrating to elevate because also it is in honor of Miss Angel Marie. Elevate mastering the energy of celebration, because it's your birthday coming up, and every year we celebrate it, and because it's fun. And you've been doing that you did it at your brick and mortar healing location and everything. It's just a tradition that you've got going on. And look at these amazing speakers, guys. Each one of them, those that are on this panel, and everybody you see in those little circles will be joining us on in just a little more than an hour on the E360 live platform here on Facebook, on YouTube. And you'll be able to hear more from our expert panel here. I'd like to give just a few, because we're at the end of our time, but 30 seconds, go around. And what would be the last little tip that you would like to say, or just a little nugget that you would like to share a thought with everybody in regards to celebrate to elevate? I'm going to start with you, Gigi.
Thank you, Tamara. It's such an honor to be here first and foremost, and thank you, Angel, as well. And when we talk about what we spoke about today, we spoke about a lot of trauma and a lot of pain. If you're listening to this message today, as Tamara mentioned, we're talking about celebrating as well. And so I want you to remember that you can celebrate you, and you can celebrate life, and you can be happy. You can find joy in the journey that you're going through as well. And also too, your happy place matters. Your happy place matters, and it's okay to go there. It's okay to go there. We go through life and we work. You work hard. You work hard, and you do all these other things. But remember, it's okay to take time for yourself as well. And remember too, you cannot serve or lead from an empty cup. And so you have to really take a step back and take a moment for self. And today we celebrate you.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Okay, Daniela.
Yes, thank you, Gigi. That was awesome. Like Gigi said earlier, we are not defined by what we've been through, right? We don't have to stay stuck there. And for me, what's important is legacy. What legacy are we going to leave, right? So, like my father, right? I just said this yesterday in the event I was at, and people can leave you cars and money and all these material things when they pass away, but those things come and go. What my dad left in me, the values and the wisdoms and all the work, like strong work ethic and life experiences, that'll last me a lifetime. And we at the end of the day, you want to ask yourself, who have I served and whose lives have I changed? I want to be remembered for how I overcame. My grandsons one day may read my story and be like, wow, my grandmother was a strong woman and she inspired so many. That's a legacy.
I love it. I love it. Angel Marie.
Yes, and I'm just going to take it really out of this book, and it's happiness. And it's a quote that I wrote. Happiness is a frame of thinking about and understanding that happiness can be as easy as thinking about being on vacation all the time. It's an energy shift. So think about the last vacation. Think about when you're getting excited to take a vacation. Be in that happiness and that vibrational field, and you will elevate your energy to celebrate who you are.
Excellent, excellent. And then we want to invite everybody to come and watch. Yes, we are piggybacking off of this show into, you get an hour, so go do whatever you need to do, and then come back and be ready with pen and paper, because you are going to just absolutely have your heart and souls filled, and so that you too can celebrate to elevate with all of us and so many more throughout the world. Once again, an amazing hour. Thank you very much for being with us, Kelly Ann. And what a legacy to leave for your grandkids, Caroline. With that, we are out. Next week, we are going to be wrapping up May with the celebration of Mental Health Month. And so come back. We have experts, and we're going to be sharing the story, and we are going to be looking at it, how fabulous we are and how we can get through with our fabulous lives, and understanding that mental health is extremely important to us all. With that, see you in an hour, everyone. Bye until then.
Bye-bye.
Shine on.
Yeah, shine on.